The Pope's Exorcist is out in theaters this weekend, guys, and it stars Russell Crowe as, well, the Pope's Exorcist. And my immediate reaction to it was that it was okay. No, it was not the best exorcism movie that I've seen, but it was nowhere near the worst. So the synopsis reads, follow Gabriel Amort, the Vatican's leading exorcist, as he investigates the possession of a child and uncovers a conspiracy the Vatican has tried to keep secret. And straight up off the bat, Russell Crowe is a standout here. He chews up the scenery. He carries this film because he's an actor of that magnitude. And every scene that he's in, you're like, this is an exorcism movie, but I'm just really enjoying these other scenes where he's talking with other priests, doing investigations and stuff like that, research and stuff. Somebody said that this was kind of like The Exorcist meets like the Da Vinci Code, because he's like trying to unravel a mystery here as to what's going on. I like that. I like that aspect of the film. Now, it was a touch long. The runtime was 1 hour and 43 minutes. It got a little hokey towards the end. It's a very Hollywood exorcist film, which means that you got people levitating off the ground. You got people being thrown around with wire work and stuff like that. Somebody asked me about the CG. There's not a lot of CG in this. The makeup effects in this are fairly good. Like the young kid that's got like all of his face scratched up and that we've seen in the trailers, he did a good job. The makeup in it was fairly good. The rest of the cast did fairly good too. Alex Esso as the mother stood out to me, and I had to go back right after I saw the movie and was like, who was she? Oh yeah, she was in a bunch of Mike Flanagan stuff, like Haunting a Blind Manor and stuff like that. The other priest, Father Esquibel, Daniel Zovato, did a good job. The Pope, Henry, the young kid. Yeah. Now, it wasn't his voice. It was, they did a dub on him to do all like the demonic stuff. The daughter did a good job. You'll recognize the name of the guy who did the voice. He was Ralph Ineson. He was in like Game of Thrones and The Witch. He was the father in The Witch. And once you recognize his voice in it, it's kind of like, yeah. My impressions of it, that, yeah, it was a interestingly enough good exorcism movie. And I was kind of like, I left the theater and I was like, well, I could watch another installment with this Father Amorth because of the weight that Russell Crowe brought to that. It would be kind of like the Conjuring universe. You know how the Warrens go on different, not missions, but like different cases each time, right? They'd be kind of like him. Like he would go on a different case. I would see another one with him in it. They alluded to it towards the end where it's not kind of like, it was based on a real guy who wrote, like, chronicled his ventures into that kind of world and stuff. I liked it for that. But if somebody were to say that it's too Hollywood for me, it's too flashy and too gritty, it kind of pulled me out of it, I would understand that argument. But for me, I was just kind of like, Russell Crowe's taking on material like this. We are talking about demons. We are talking about angels falling from heaven and stuff like that, which I found cool, which with all of that aspect, I like the story of Lucifer being the most handsome angel and falling from heaven and stuff, being cast out. And it made me think, and it reminded me of a movie in the 90s called The Prophecy with Christopher Walken, where there's like a murder and then he uncovers that Christopher Walken is actually a fallen angel and stuff like that. Yeah, that movie had a big cast. Elias Koteas, Eric Stoltz, Virginia Madsen. Viggo Mortensen was Lucifer in that movie. So yeah, they talk about the lore of that kind of stuff, which I really appreciate. So I was like, yeah, that's fascinating. That's really cool. Interesting concepts in there. But as I said, it runs a little bit long towards the end. I wouldn't worry about that too much. If you like the setup, then you'll be wanting to watch the entire thing through. There's no post-credit scenes or anything like that. Let's go over the tomato meter and see what people were saying about this. 48% by the critics, 86% by the audience. So the audience is going to like this much more than the critics. I'm guessing the critics are going to say things like what I just said. off the cuffs things. So bloody disgusting, didn't like it. At least Crowe's instinct for hamming it up absolves him of the generic exorcism feature he's found himself in. Generic exorcism. No, I don't know if it was generic, because it went beyond just, as I said, the scope of it. They were dealing with fallen angels and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really call that generic, because you don't see that too much. Let's take a look at Empire Magazine, who did like it. It's not just the demonic possession victims whose eyes will be rolling back in their skulls. More of this should work, really, and yet the film just about gets away with it, proving the Lord truly does move in mysterious ways. Wait, is that supposed to be a positive review? Hannah Strong says, I've had more fun at Sunday Mass. Yeah, the runtime, again, it'll start to bore some people out, but it's only an hour and 43 minutes, so it's not that long. You're not going to be sitting there for 2 hours. You're not. And remember, the hour 43 runtime is with credits, so you don't have to stay for the credits. Bland, dumb, and tedious while low on scares and thrills. Does Russell Crowe want some cheese to go with all of that ham? Some people are saying he's hammed it up. No, I don't think he's hammed it up. It was actually his conviction toward the role. He was taking it seriously, and I like that. I found that was cool. Because people do question him and his faith, and he puts them straight, and it's kind of like those scenes, like there's just scenes with him talking with other cardinals and bishops and stuff like that, and you're just like, that's more interesting to me than like the demonic stuff, like the fighting behind the scenes of like, is it real or is it not real? What should the church be doing and stuff like that? I find all that fascinating stuff. So that's why I like The Pope's Exorcist. Now, I don't think I would be as low as the critics on this, coming in at a 4.8, but I'm not near as high as an 8.5 or 8.6. I would probably have to land The Pope's Exorcist around a 7 out of 10. It's a good month here, April 2023, for horror, because we had Renfield in the theater that we just saw, and that was like a fun kind of horrific kind of scenario. This one, if you're religious, for sure, if you like if you pray to God and stuff like that, then this one will get under your skin because of all that other lore that they do address. Unless you would go to like I don't even think they talk about that in Sunday school, like the angels in the battle for heaven and stuff like that. I don't know if they do that, but I like that aspect. So that's why I like The Pope's Exorcist. 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah, out of the two, out of Renfield or The Pope's Exorcist, they're two different films, man, and I appreciate them for different aspects. But if I had to watch one right again, Nicolas Cage's Renfield is so awesome. But Russell Crowe as this guy is also awesome. So it's a toss-up. I like them equally. Now, as I said, this is a good month for horror because next week, Evil Dead Rise comes out. So yeah, we are having a good month for horror here in April. I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys thought about The Pope's Exorcist in the comments below. You know, I was going to do the entire review of every time I said The Pope's Exorcist. I was going to do that, but that would have gotten annoying, right? Yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. Ooh, that was a little bit loud. Yeah, surprisingly, not a bad film. It's not terrible like some people were saying. I could say this. If you were worried about seeing it in a theater, Renfield, I would say go see that first. This is one that you can catch on the streaming service later, and it sucks that I'd be saying that, James. But yeah. But it is worth watching. If you're a horror fan, you're going to watch this. If you are an exorcism fan, you're going to watch this. So there you go. I just wanted to see if there's any other big names here that jump out at me. Deadline Hollywood. I wanted to see if Matt Donato. Okay, so he says Russell Crowe takes on the Devil's Army with an Olive Garden Italian accent. Actually, I didn't even Yeah, I'm not Italian, so I don't know what the accents are, if it was close or not. So that aspect was a little bit lost on me. I didn't really care about that as a casual fan. I wanted to see if Perry was up here, but I guess maybe. Sorry, I should have pulled. I was just thinking and hoping that it would be there right at the top if she was on here, because I'm curious to see what she said about it. Maybe it's not up there yet. All right. So what else is opening up this weekend was Renfield. Let's talk about Renfield. I really enjoyed that.